The context is obviously within, BC and Alberta and Canada. There's really unfortunate with the number of wildfires and just the really unfortunate situation with climate change. So obviously Alberta is super focused on, using technology and innovation to, better address this type of societal concerns and issues. The predictions on that Friday in May was actually all red. That very moment actually felt maybe there was a bug or something wasn't working right. But it was actually, the whole province was actually on fire at that time. And then a few days later, during that weekend, Alberta actually declared a state of emergency. So, reflecting back, I think, I could work in commercial or other domains, but really in public sector, that really demonstrated to me the importance of AI and technology to help really address this type of really important societal, challenges.
I was talking to somebody else in another podcast on how do you motivate young, good data scientists to work on your projects. And one of the things they were saying was because in public sector, you're working on such impactful things, right? Like, so this is one big motivation factor, and this is one factor that helps us recruit some of the top people, people like Hubert to work on. Fourth one that you said is that the search kind of worked okay in its own context. The LLM did it okay in its own context, but the two of them together, there was a gap. So like if you had searched for what is the population of like in Alberta or something, and a human would have seen like 10 blue links and they would have clicked on the first link, and then they say that in 2015 the population is 60,000, right? And the human would have known that this is 2015. So I understand that the search is fine. So let me go to the second document, because human knows that context real quick. And what you're saying is that sometimes there is this like some things falling in the middle of retrieval generation, where retrieval is doing its own thing, generation is doing its own thing, but that context is not properly passed. So that's the fourth kind of failure.
Right? Doesn't solve all types of questions, right? So when you look at questions which are like aggregations and you're saying, like a very classic example is you got a bunch of documents and the question could be how many times is the word Hubert mentioned in my document? So Reg's gonna retrieve your top in, right? The top number, but it's not like all your documents. So it's
correct.
But it's gonna answer based on the retrieve documents. Oh, it's mentioned 20 times, but that's definitely not the right answer, right? So looking at, there's just some certain types of questions that just cannot be answered by Reg. So recognizing that is going to be important.
Limitation of Reg.
Agent to agent communication, that's a big bet that Microsoft leads to most of our competitors in just the the AI tech industry. But I think what my bold prediction is we're gonna build out a public sector centric agent to agent kind of framework that may differ from commercial, right? Because if you think about it with agentic AI, like you're in the commercial side, there's people are thinking about advertisements, how you commercialize it. So like the business case for public sector is not the same. I don't know if I have a bold specific prediction, but I think I want to kind of help contribute to some sort of kind of framework about agentic AI, agent to agent communication that's really beneficial for public sector. So I think that's something that I'm excited about.
I really like that. So you're thinking each public sector entity would have an agent which almost is like their storefront or like their website, and then the other public sector has another one, and then let's say one has to talk to another, like one agent needs to know some things within the jurisdiction of another, then these two agents can talk and figure things out.